Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, A Little Geek, A Little Chic. Today, we're going to talk about the books that I read in the month of January, as well as the books that I would like to read in the month of February. We're going to combo it because there weren't very many books in January, so I figured I would just put them both together for you guys and you would get a combo video this time. So, grab yourself your beverage of choice and let's talk books. Full disclosure, I'm having some water. Let's take a moment for one of my January favorite things in the whole world. Perfect for February, right? This Tumbler that I got. I had a gift card for Christmas, and this is what I used it for. So thank you to my brother for the gift card for Christmas, because I think I had him. He purchased me a Starbucks tumbler when he went to Mexico or Cuba or something like that at one point. So he has now purchased me 2 Starbucks tumblers in his gifting career. So that one I'm really enjoying. So let's get into the books that I read in January. Did not have a very great reading month, you guys. I'm going to be 100% honest. And the one physical copy that I read is I'm looking around on my shelves because I cannot find it. Like, I read it. It's here. I don't know where, but it's here. And that is The Holiday Swap. It was such a good book. I read it for the last week in December, and a couple days into January. So I'm considering it a January finish. And I just loved it. The characters were great. It's a feel-good. It's like a Hallmark movie in a book. And if that's what you're looking for, that's what you're getting. So if you're doing like a Christmas in July reading kind of thing, some people do that and they like to just like spark up for Christmas in July and read a couple of holiday books. I recommend that one. I think you could enjoy it any time of the year. It's more focused on family and figuring out who you are and what you want and not settling, and it's just such a great book. The sisters in it are amazing, and I super enjoyed it, and super, how many times can I say super? Recommend you picking it up. So that was The Holiday Swap. I will post a picture of it. Obviously, it should be up here so that you guys can see the cover, since I cannot find my physical copy anywhere around here. But that is a problem for Later Diamond to find her book. Outside of that, I have a list right here of some books that I also took in from my local library digitally. Some of them were audiobooks, and the first one was The Power of Knitting by Loretta Neapolini, and I crochet. I do also know how to knit. So I thought, you know what, let's see what she's got to say, because it intrigued me and I like to hear about people's takes on things. And she discussed how knitting is a powerful healing tool and a leverage tool, like in the war when things like socks and such produced items were an anomaly. The women would get together and they would knit and crochet socks and things that their soldiers needed for them and send them to them. And it's a great story. It also talks about like this lady who wrote its life and how it was going through a downward spiral, and she just had to like reclaim herself through her through the knitting that she loved so much, as like an outlet for creativity and for her personality. And it was great, and I actually really enjoyed it. I don't know that I would recommend this book to everybody. It is definitely an acquired taste, and it can be a little bit dry also to listen to. I listened to it on audiobook, and it can be a little dry. I think it would be even drier as a read, though, so I recommend you pick this one up on audiobook if you can find it at your local library or Audible or whatever medium you choose. The next book was Billie Eilish. By Billie Eilish, right? Obviously. And it just kind of talked about her childhood and how she got into singing and songwriting at such a young age and just exploded, and the things that she liked as a kid. And when you are going through it, it does read a bit Juvenile, I did also listen to this one spoken by Billie Eilish telling you her story, and her parents are in there too. So it's just kind of like a nice, cute read. It's quick. It does come off a bit juvenile, but hey, it is a young adult telling you about her childhood / juvenile life prior to becoming famous, and what happened once she did. So now you can see what the premise, like how it sounds juvenile, is probably honest, because that's the part she's telling you about. And she's still very young. So take that as it is, and just don't let that deter you going in, because her story is a fantastic one, and she's such a like talented star that it is. I just find her backstory completely enthralling, and how she knows who she is and her personality, and she just doesn't waver, no matter, like, regardless of what other celebrities, media, etc. says that she should be. She isn't willing to give up what she wants to be and who she knows she is. So it's a great read. If you have a young adult, maybe this would be a good nonfiction for them. They might really like it. And the last one was Clever Girl Finance Investing, Learning to Grow Your Money by Bola Sukandi. I'm looking down because I'm trying to read the title as well as the name and not butcher it. So if I didn't pronounce that properly, I apologize. And this is just some discussions about investing and growing your wealth. And it was a really good financial book to pick up. I do like to pick those up once in a while. I like to pick up nonfiction, true crime, memoirs, and finance kind of books just to dabble and get more knowledge in the base of finance. Because I am not the most knowledgeable person when it comes to things like investing, etc. So I work in like a payroll function at my job. So it's like I find that knowing some more terms of the industry is just helpful. So sometimes I'll just pick one of those up as a side read just to advance my knowledge set. So that is it. Those are the books I read. I guess there's only 4 this month. Things has been busy, you guys. Hopefully I can do better in February. And let's go through the books that I hope to read in the month of February. In the month of February, I have one book that is on my library to read list, and that is Lady Killers. I don't quite remember I think Tori Kiefer is maybe the author's name. I'll post it up here, and then you guys can see it. It's about how society has branched and pegged serial killers as men most of the time, and women who are more brutal and serial killers are given like cute little names, like the nanny killer or like the granny killer or something like that. But it's really puts like a sugar and spice spin on it when it's not. It's gruesome and grotesque and terrible, just like the male serial killers are. And we don't really hear so much about the female serial killers, even though there were a lot in history, and some of them rivaled the worst serial killers ever to ever be heard of, like Jack the Ripper and etc. So these women are insanely brutal and murderous, and sometimes for no apparent reason. And it's just like I started my read of it already, and it's enthralling. So if you guys like true crime and like to know maybe about the other genre of serial killers you don't hear about very much, I highly recommend. It is a very, very intriguing read. Next up on the list is, I've started this book, you guys, but every time I pick it up, I love it. Every time I pick it up, I love it, but I just haven't had very much time to physically sit down and read, so hopefully that changes soon. But Kings of the Wild will be completed, hopefully, in the month of February by Nicholas Eames. I've talked about this a bunch on my channel. I'm not going to go too much into it now. It is about a band of mercenaries who used to be named Saga, and in their area where they live, they are like celebrity famous, kind of like old rock stars, and they have like fans and all this kind of stuff. And they got to get the band back together, even though they all have different aspects of their life that are challenged now. Some have families, some have drinking problems, etc., etc. And they got to get the band back together and save one of them's child who has gone missing. Not a spoiler. Learn about that in the first 2 pages. So this book has been great every time I picked it up, and I can't wait to continue reading it. The next book that I have here is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I talked about this, I think, in my most anticipated reads for 2022, or my 22 books to read in 2022. This one and the Kings of the Wild are both on there. So if you haven't seen that video yet, go have a look. I'll post a link to it at the end of the clip here, at the end of the video, and you can go see what other books I think I would like to get to this year physically off of my stack, because I have quite a few books to read. And this one is about two sisters who are very light skin tone and have left their hometown. Now one comes back to raise her daughter in the hometown, and the other one has left and is white passing. So she has her husband doesn't know that of her past, and apparently they have to come back together. They haven't spoken in years, and something goes awry with the family and they need to make amends. So that's all I know about this one, and this one I hope to pick up in the month of February as well. Now I have two like romancy kind of ones here that I want to get to in the month of February, because Valentine's Day, etc. You just want to read something romancy, and the first one is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. It is a graphic novel that was, I believe, a webcomic, and now is a printed, published work. All of the pages are this green and blue texture. Looks great. Male romance. Can't wait to get to this. High school male romance, I believe. So very excited to check this one out. I think there's about 4 of these bind-ups now that you can get. If not, I'm not sure if they're still published in the webcomic or they're strictly print format now. But that is one of the Valentine's-y ones I want to get to. The second Valentine's-y one I want to get to should be no surprise. I believe it is also on my, I think all of these books are actually on my 22 to read in 2022, except for the last book in the pile. And that's The Love Hypothesis. This one here by Ali Hazelwood. It's about 2 scientists in a lab who have potentially a fake dating trope, or they're just rival scientists and then a love ensues. I'm not sure 100%. The office style romance thing really calls me, and I just love books like this. So I'm very excited to read this one and see where I fall. It has huge hype. Everyone who's read it has loved it, and I am very keen on finding out where I fit in the mold of this. Plus, this cover just draws me to it. The blues and the pinks and it's very aesthetically pleasing. As you can tell, I'm very much a fan of this color trend. And I just look at the cover. Ugh. I cannot wait. I just love it. And the last book here is not from my 22 books to read in 2022 list. The last book is a book that I am super hyped for. Possibly my most anticipated book read of 2022. Just released. Picked it up. I think I'll do a reading vlog for you guys, like a weekend where I just read this book, start cover to cover, because I am enthralled and I'm so excited. And that is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. My favorite book of last year. Finlay Donovan is killing it. What a story. Lady goes to a Panera. She's an author. She's talking to her publicist. She's having troubles writing this new book that she's already gotten an advance for. And the publicist says, you know, easy peasy, this. She kills him, gets away with it, and guess what? Everybody lives happy ever after. It's not that difficult. And so, like, along those lines, that's their conversation. It's right at the beginning of the book, of the first book, so it's not a spoiler. Someone overhears this, and she is confused with someone who is potentially a murder for hire, and gets left a note offering a substantial sum of money for someone who is struggling, and she has to figure out whether or not she takes it and what ensues from there. The mob, all this kind of stuff is involved. It is a hilarious read and such a good time. You guys, the characters are fantastic, the book is fantastic, and it reads so well, and it's so easy to read. You just fly through it. I have heard that this one is better than the first one. How? I don't know, but that is what I've heard, so I am excited to pick this one up and see what I think. I'm going to love it anyway because of the characters, and this is my most anticipated read. If not my most anticipated read of 2022, it's ranked right up there, and I'm so excited to have it in my hands and get to read it this month. So that is it for the books that I want to read in the month of February, as well as the books that I read in the month of January. So if you are reading any of these books, comment down below and tell me which one you are most anticipating reading this month. And if not, comment down below and tell me what you are reading this month. Are you focusing on nonfiction, historical fiction, literary fiction, or are you dabbling into some cozy murder mysteries, or perhaps are you on the romance train for February? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon so you know when I post new videos. I appreciate all of your likes, all of your subscribes, and I'll see you soon with another video.